Hi everybody, this is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy. Welcome to lesson number 114. In this lesson, we will introduce the student of the idea that sometimes the consonant before the consonant LE is doubled. Let's begin by setting up the table. You'll need your top 160 sight word list, and if the student has finished that list, you can move on to the top 290 word list. You can find this list on the flyingcatacademy.com website. Go to the guided lessons page and you'll see two sub-pages there. Choose the one called Extra Resources. You'll need the Sight Word Study Method Teacher Instruction Sheet, the Student's Sight Word Card Pack, some blank cards, a highlighter, markers, and some pencils. For the phonemic awareness drill, you'll need the Teacher Instruction Sheet and the colored tiles for the student. For the visual drill and auditory drill, you'll need the teacher instruction sheets and the card pack for the student. For the syllable card drill today, we'll have one syllable in the second column, that's GLE, and we're just going to move the GLE down so the student can form real words. And we'll have the magnetic letter tile drill for reading and spelling. You'll need the teacher instruction sheets with the cookie sheet with the magnetic letters spread in a rainbow shape. You'll need the syllable pounding instruction sheet, the new phoneme grapheme kinesthetic discovery sheet, and the sheets for the lesson. You'll need the syllable cards for the same drill that we've been using in the last few lessons. It was introduced when we introduced the consonant LE syllable type, and we'll just have the student read across making real words. We want them to be thinking about what type of syllables are each of the first syllables. And then you'll have a timer on the table for the fluency element. To have the fluency element in a Orton Gillingham lesson, you need to introduce a secondary program. I use Read Naturally and the 6-minute reading solution. Let's begin with the sight word study method. Student, could you take out your sight word card pack now? I would like you to read through all of the words in your card pack. After you read a word correctly, put a check mark in the corner of the card. Once you're finished reading all of the cards, hand the card pack to your teacher, and then it's your teacher's turn to read. Your teacher will read each one, and student, you'll write the words down. After you write a word correctly, in the other corner of the card, put a check mark. Once the task is finished, have a quick discussion with your teacher about which of those words has been mastered. The mastered words will be removed from your card pack, and this leaves space so that you can introduce a new sight word. Now it's time for the phonemic awareness drill. Student, you'll need your colored tiles for this one. Your word is part. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I would like part of the cookie. Now, can you build the word part with your colored tiles? And then tap it and say it. So do you have 3 colored tiles and they're all different colors? If you do, that's right. Find the P in part. Change the P into a T. What's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say tart? If you did, that's right. And you should have the same color at the beginning of the word as you have at the end because that T sound is repeated, isn't it? T. Art. Okay, add a S to the front of that. And what's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say start? I will start the movie. If you did, that's right. Find the R in start. Now change the R into or and tap and say your new word. Did you say, this is a nonsense word, stort? If you did, that's right. Now find the first T in stort. Change that T into P. And what's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say sport? I will play the sport. If you did, that's right. Now delete. So take away the S in sport. And what's your new word? Tap it and say it. Did you say port? The ship came into the port. If you did, that's right. Okay, great job. You can put your tiles away. Now let's do the visual drill. Student, what is the sound of this one? Did you say or? If you did, that's right. Teacher, do about 6 to 8 flashcards in this way. Let's do the auditory drill. Student, can you say ah? Now, what are the graphemes that you know to make ah? What are all the different ways to write this sound? Write them down now and say ah as you do it. And when you're finished, underline them and say ah again. And then we'll check your work. Did you say that AW can make ah? That happens in the word draw or claw. And AU can do it as well in the word auto or August. And the O can also do this, the short sound of O. Remember, olive? That's another way to do it. Okay, teacher, do maybe 6 to 8 flashcards in this way and then come back to me. Now we'll do the syllable card drill, and your teacher probably has this one set up and ready to go on the table for you. You'll see that there's lots of syllables in column number 1, but only one syllable in column number 2. You're just going to take that syllable that's in column number 2 and move it down each row so that you're making real words with the syllables in column number 1. Remember that it's a great idea to discuss the meanings of the words and to put some of them into sentences. And teacher, just in case you don't have it on the table, I will provide the drill here. Now let's do some syllable pounding. This is where you can either put your hand under your chin as you say a word and count the syllables. Every time a syllable happens, your jaw drops. Or you could say the word, and as you feel those syllables, you could hit your arm to indicate each syllable, and one of your fingers will stretch out. So here's your first word. Can you say untangle? I will untangle my hair. It's a hard thing to do with hair like mine. Untangle. How many syllables are in untangle? Let's find out. Untangle. 3. Your next word, re. Not a word on its own, but it is a prefix. How many syllables? I just hear that E sound, so 1. Try this one. Re-angle. How many syllables? Re-angle. 3. I will re-angle it. And your last one is beagle. Can you repeat that word? Beagles are a very cute type of dog. How many syllables in beagle? Beagle. 2. Now it's time to do some scooping of syllables. So student, can you please take out your scooping syllables worksheet? And teacher, you're going to take out the teacher answer key. Student, as you're scooping the syllables, remember to discuss your thinking. Now let's review this idea of the consonant LE syllable type. I'll call up the rule card here. And student, could you explain to your teacher what it is to be a consonant LE syllable type? What do you know about this one? Did you say that the consonant LE syllable type only exists in multi-syllable words, and you'll find it at the end of the word, and any different syllable type that you've learned about could be at the front? The E in the consonant LE is always silent. Now, at the end of our last lesson, I challenged you. I said, I wonder if you can think of a story to help remember this definition. If you thought of a story, tell your teacher now. And pause me. Okay, I would love to hear your story. So if you want to write the story and put it in the comments of the video, that would be amazing. If not, if you didn't make a story, then I will provide one here. So I'll call up a graphic. And my story is that we have this consonant. And so we have two kids. One's named Consonant and one's named L.E. And Consonant is the brother, and he's older, and he has a younger sister, and she's L.E. Consonant has to babysit L.E. every day in the summer. And luckily, these two get along. Consonant is very social, and he loves to be with his friends at all times. And L.E. loves to be with her brother, so she's always following her brother around. Because Consonant is so social and always wants to be with his friend, every day he takes Ellie to the park where they meet up with other grapheme friends and they play. Let's practice reading some consonant LE words. And I've got this, your teacher will have this one ready on the table for you, and it's the same drill that we've used in the last few lessons. We initially introduced it when we introduced the consonant LE syllable type. And if your teacher doesn't have it on the table, then you can just keep playing the video and I'll provide it here. Let's move into the new content part of the lesson. Today we're going to discuss how sometimes the consonant in the consonant LE syllable is doubled. This happens when, I'm just going to show you a word here. We have a closed syllable like this word. Can you tap and say this word? Ib, nib. And if I want to turn nib into nibble, well, let's tap out the sounds. So what do you hear in nibble? N, I, b, o. So there's 4 sounds in there. And when I hear that bull, I know I'm talking about a consonant LE. If I didn't double it, I'd have a problem. Because what would I have? I wouldn't have nibble because I have to divide it. Remember that this is one syllable and this is one syllable. So what type of syllable would this one be? It's got one vowel and the vowel's at the end. It's not closed in by any consonant. Well, that would be an open syllable. So that would say nigh, nibble. So if we want to create this the short I sound, then we have to have a closed syllable, right? And so that is why the doubling happens. So nibble has to have the 2 B's in there. One to make this a closed syllable at the beginning, and one because we always have to have a consonant and LE for this syllable type. Let's look at some other examples of how this works. And you'll need your magnetic letter tray with your tile spread in a rainbow shape for this one. Your word is table. Can you repeat that word? Okay, let's think about the first syllable in table. Can you say that syllable? It's tay. Okay, what's the first sound that you hear in table? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the next sound that you hear in table? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. So that's syllable number 1. What type of syllable are you looking at? Is it a closed, open, vowel, consonant, silent E, vowel team, vowel diphthong, or controlled? What is it? That was an open syllable. It's got one vowel, and the vowel's just at the end of the syllable, not closed in by anything. It's just open. Okay, now let's do syllable number 2. Bull, because remember the word is table. So what's the first sound that you hear in bull? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in bull? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now, how did you spell table? Did you spell it T-A-B-L-E? If you did, that's right, because you have an open syllable as your syllable number 1 and the consonant L-E as your syllable number 2. Let's make this into a nonsense word. How would you turn table into table? So I want that long A sound in the table to turn into a ah. There's only one way to do it. How do you make the short vowel sound in syllable number 1? you would have to double the B. So table is T-A-B-L-E and table would be T-A-B-B-L-E. Okay, put those tiles back and get ready for a new word. I'll tell you that your first syllable in this word is raff. Can you repeat that word? Nonsense word, isn't it? It's not a word on its own. What's the first sound that you hear in raff? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in raff? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in raff? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Now tap and say it. And what type of syllable is raff? Well, I hear the short A sound of apple, so that is a closed syllable. I would like you to turn raff into raffle. So I want you to add the consonant L-E. And what do you get? Well, this is where that doubling would occur because we have to have a consonant in the second syllable, consonant L-E. So we'd hear raffle. So we have to know that this has to be here, this first F, because we want the A to be short, so we need this to be a closed syllable. Okay, let's keep your magnetic letter tile board out, and we're going to review this concept by doing the magnetic letter tile drill for reading. Your sound is B. Can you repeat that sound? Now find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Your sound is I. Can you repeat that sound? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say B? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say O? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap and say the word. Did you say this word is Bible? So I read the Bible. If you did, that's right. Now, if I wanted to turn Bible into the nonsense word Bibble, how would I do that? You probably don't have enough tiles to do this, so you can just tell your teacher. So we know that bi is an open syllable. How do we turn that first syllable into bib instead of bi? This is where you double the B to make the short I sound, right? Bibble, B-I-B-B-L-E. Okay, let's try a new one. Put those tiles back and get ready for your new word. Can you say ah? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say p? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. Can you say ul? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now, think about where you would divide the two syllables. Tap and say the word, and make any spelling changes that you have to make. Did you say the word was apple? If you did, that's right. And we hear the ah, that's the short A sound. So we know short vowel sound goes with the closed syllable type. So that means we have to have a consonant babysitter. So we've got AP in the first syllable, and we have to have a consonant with the LE in the second syllable, so that you'd have to double the P. So you'd have AP, PLE. Okay, teacher, you can do more words in this way if you have time, and if not, then you can have the student move on to reading the single word list, and then the short story, and then you can add the fluency element. Let's do the magnetic letter tile drill for spelling. Student, your word is puzzle. Can you repeat that word? My brother and I made a puzzle. What's the first sound that you hear in puzzle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in puzzle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in puzzle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in puzzle? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap and say the word. And think about any spelling changes that you have to make. Think about what type of syllable is syllable number 1 in this word. Did you spell this word P-U-Z-Z-L-E? If you did, that's right. We need to have the Z in the first syllable because it's a closed syllable. And then we need Z, and I'm saying Z because I'm Canadian. So for my American viewers out there, you'd say Z. And we have the ZLE in the second syllable. Okay, try this word. So put those tiles back and get ready for a new word. Your word is rifle. Can you repeat that word? Now, what's the first sound that you hear in rifle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in rifle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. What's the next sound that you hear in rifle? Find the correct tile and pull it to the middle. And what's the last sound that you hear in rifle? Find the correct tile or tiles and pull them to the middle. Now tap it and say it. And think about any spelling rules that come into play. Make any changes that you need to make. Okay, did you say this word was rifle and spell it R-I-F-L-E? If you did, that's right. This is an open syllable, R-I, and the consonant L-E syllable type at the end. All right, teacher, if you have time, you can do more words in this way. And if not, then student, I would like you to take out a pencil and a lined piece of paper because it's time to write some single words. Your word is fable. Can you repeat that word? A fable is often a story that was made a long, long time ago that is not true. Okay, what are the sounds that you hear in fable? I'd like you to think of this syllable by syllable. So tap out the first syllable, say the syllable, and then write it down. Tap out the second syllable, say it, the word, and then or the syllable, and then write it down. And then say your whole word. And then we'll check it. Did you say fable is F-A-B-L-E? And what type of syllable is fey? That was an open syllable. Okay, let's try a new one. Dazzle. Can you repeat that word? I might say, I will dazzle you with my basketball skills. Probably not. Dazzle. Okay, tap out the first syllable. Say the syllable, write it down. Tap out the second syllable, say it, and write it down. Then we'll check your work. Did you spell this one D-A-Z-Z-L-E? If you did, that's right. And here's your next one. Pebble. Can you repeat that word? A small stone is called a pebble. Okay, tap out the sounds, say it, and write it down. Did you spell this one P-E-B-B-L-E? Because that's right. And here's your last one, gobble. Can you repeat that word? A turkey says gobble, gobble. So tap out the sounds, say the word, and write it down. Okay, let's check it. Did you spell it G-O-B-B-L-E? If you did, that's right. Now it's time to write some sentences. So teacher, I would like you to read all 3 sentences to the student. And student, you'll choose the 2 that you would like to write. After you write a sentence, make sure you check your work with CHOPS. We've been talking about the consonant LE syllable type, and today we made a story to help us to remember the definition. I'm going to put the picture up here, and student, could you explain how this picture tells the story that is the definition of the consonant LE syllable type? In the new content part of the lesson, we discussed how there's this doubling that happens sometimes with the consonant in the consonant LE words. Student, can you explain why we need to have 2 F's in this word? And I'd also like you to tap and say the word. Did you say that in order to have a closed syllable, we need to have this F because then we have raff. So the word is raffle. Okay, great job. That's the end of lesson 114. This is Shawna Odette from the Flying Cat Academy.